parked my truck, moved into my apartment, and went and looked for a job.
Wow.
Easy as that.
That day.
Easy as that.
That day. I had a job. I was working the next day.
Wow.
I walked in, I mean, with just a white polo shirt on,
right there.
walked into like 2 places. Both of them called me back. I picked which one I worked at, and I started working the next day.
Yeah.
Wow.
I hadn't even applied for classes, and I was
already working.
Yeah, I was already working.
That's how you know.
Yeah,
That's
most
how
people
you
are
know.
like, oh, let me wait for school to start, and then I'll see if my schedule fits,
Yeah.
and then,
Yeah.
Oh, you said no.
I went up there early on
into it.
purpose, so I ended my summer early to go up, get a job, get that started, because I knew that the best time to find jobs is when summer's ending.
Yeah, because
And
that's
so-
what everybody's
yeah.
thinking.
Yeah, all the high school. So I was able to like slide into a job,
Yeah.
and then I registered for classes. I was like, cool, I got my job, got my schedule, and then I was able to pick my classes based on my work schedule. And I was working 6 nights
6 nights a week.
and
Wow.
taking a
And
full
school.
load, 18 credit hours. So I was taking a full load in college and working nights, including
Props to you,
weekends,
man.
including weekends.
Including weekends.
Weekends,
crazy.
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So I worked Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night, and I'd go out after.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
So I
He's,
get off.
he's getting ready to start.
yeah. So, shoot,
I'll tell you what I wouldn't wish it on
crazy.
everybody. You have to be a certain type.
Yeah.
I'm that type.
Yeah.
I stayed busy. Like I was looking forward to going out, and my whole philosophy was, if you're socializing and going out in college, nothing really happens until like 10:30, 11 anyway.
Yeah.
So I was getting off at 10, go home, take a shower, put my clothes on,
Go out,
except I
yeah.
had money in my pocket.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
You know.
Right. It don't matter what I got going on. It's like I'm always, because that's the thing. I feel like because my thing is, I think talent matters, but more than talent, I feel like that's why I preach like this emotional, mental energy, just like emotional, mental strength, because I think I think that'll keep you going more so than talent. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think being talented within itself is enough to keep you going when times get really hard. You know what I'm saying?
You have to keep the ball rolling. It's a big
To me, it's all about just having like a certain mind state, a certain energy, and I think that'll just kind of carry you through like all the emotional obstacles that just come with just wanting to build your own platform. And I mean, I'm sure like you guys are just gonna experience that within yourselves. So I mean, it's really just about. I think if your mind is right and your spirit and your spirit and your intent is right, then you'll always keep going. Because it gets really hard. You know what I'm saying? It gets really hard. So like that's like the main thing that I just try to put out there.
And that mentality of things are good and things could be worse.
but even if things are bad though, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the main thing. Because like things could be good, but like even if things are bad, it could still be worse. Because like I've never been to Africa, but maybe some people out there aren't living as great as me. And I'm not living that great at all. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm definitely on the grind heavy. Yeah. But, it's like, it doesn't matter to me in my life. At least I try to not trip, but it doesn't matter if I'm doing good or bad, because I don't ever want to get too like, I don't ever want to get too excited I don't ever want to get too up or too down. I just always want to like, one of the things I'm working on is just really being able to like just master my emotions. You know what I'm saying? Like even if things are horrible, like just still kind of like just being just regular, not really getting too in over myself about just the reality, because the reality is things can always be worse. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not homeless. Like I got all my limbs. You know what I mean? Like I got a family. I got people that like me. So it's just like, I'm never gonna trip or complain over like things that probably won't matter or be important in like 3, 4, 5 months, or even 2 weeks. You know what I mean? So, that's just where I'm at right now in my life.
But at the same time, like not being complacent, because like
Exactly.
You said something along the lines of like, how can you like be content with who you are in the moment, or something like be 100% content with who you are in the moment, but still like I don't know
like
exactly
I think it's possible to.
Like,
it's just the whole idea of like, being grateful for what I have and grinding for what I don't have. But I think people aren't even grateful for what they have. So I think it just kind of distracts you. It's just like the fact that we just at generally speaking about society, the fact that we aren't grateful for what we have, I think it just makes it even harder to build to get to what we want. But like, you know, I think it makes it easier to keep on grinding if you just realize that you really appreciate what you have. You know, so I'm just trying to stay in that mentality. Like I could easily like be mad that like I don't have like 10,000 followers and I don't have like whatever like the fuck like people that have more than we have. But like, but at the same time, it's like I'm gonna keep grinding and like I'm just gonna keep putting out like more music. But it's just like if I really stop and think about it, I have to really appreciate the fact that I'm even here talking to y'all, that y'all even care to talk to me about me, you know what I mean? Like, because at a point in time, like, nobody knew and nobody cared, and I still was making music, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it just is what it is. Like, I've just decided I'm just never gonna trip ever in life, period.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's gotta be that way too, man.
It has to.
I feel like we can, especially on the one song "Illegal" that you wrote. I feel like we could relate on to a certain extent because we were also like immigrants. Me and him came from Honduras, and like, we when I heard that song, I'm like, girl, you better say it. You better like, I'm feeling this shit right now. But yeah, I'm really liking that song. Where did that
come from? That came from me being undocumented for 8 or 9 years, and it was kind of like an unexpected turn of events, I think, for me, just because, you know, my father was a diplomat and I always had, you know, like normal status, you know what I mean? And then he became a political prisoner and he retired, and like, so, you know, his status was no longer protecting me, but I was here and I needed to go through school and I grew up here. Yeah. So it was like, what? Like, me going to Cameroon, like, it was kind of like crazy. Like, you know, it was like, what? Like, I don't know anybody there. Like, yes, I'm fluent in French, but it's just like a complete culture shock. You know what I mean? This was home, you know? So it came from that, and then it came also from, I was working at this place that was, you know, I learned a lot there or whatever, but at the same time, it was me kind of being the, like, only person of color in this place. And I would work, and I was working there for 3 years, and I would go to work every day and never see a person of color. And there would be, like, you know, police shootings and all of these things. And it was just really at the height of that, the Black Lives Matter movement. And I would go to work and nobody cared. You know, it was, like, not a topic of conversation. Everyone was unbothered. So it was a thing that just kind of had me like, okay, like, ooh, I really want to speak up about this because it affects me, and I have brothers and I have myself and, you know, all of this stuff. But at the same time, I'm undocumented. And so, like, the stakes are this much higher for me if I start, like, protesting and, you know what I mean? So it was kind of like,
Gave you a voice.
Exactly. So I had to find a way to kind of, like, say what I wanted to say. And, yes, speaking about being a person of color, but speaking about being a woman of color and also being undocumented all at the same time. So that's really where illegal came from. And it was a thing where, you know, people were saying, like, illegal, and it was like, okay, well, that's, like, not PC. Like, you can't say that, you know. That's not, like, how we address human beings.
People don't want to hear that, yeah.
You know.
Sometimes you gotta say what people don't want to hear.
But it was also kind of like me saying, like, well, you're treating us illegally. You know, you're calling people illegal immigrants, but really, these are the people that you're treating illegally. So that's where kind of the lyrics came from. Like, you know, it was just like almost like flipping it. You know what I mean? So yeah.
With that post, it was from a show I did last weekend. I opened up for like Waka Flocka, and like some EDM groups like.
Up in Philly, right?
No, this was actually in Greenville.
Oh, Greenville.
So I had a show in Philly like 2 nights before, and then we had that one.
Dude, on the drive.
Yeah, we were
lots of Red Bulls, huh?
Yeah, coffee, bro. I was be rocking coffee. So, yeah, it was like one of those things where I was in the middle of performing, and I looked back, and they had my name up there. I didn't even know they were gonna do any of that. Nah, I didn't know. Like, I was in the middle of like, I was making the crowd swag surf, and I just turned around, look at Posada, my DJ, and I just see my name. I was like, all right, let's keep going. Like, and so it was like, I I don't know, like I always feel bad because like I wouldn't say bad. It's like you're just posting on Instagram, man. You're like, we're all doing it. We're all posting like the best moments. You know, you're not posting yourself like crying in your room alone, like, yo, I'm depressed, like what up?
Yeah.
So I don't want to be a part of the problem of social media, which is like posting all your best moments, and I don't want somebody to see my social media and be like jealous or
feel envy.
Oh yeah, like
why am I not there?
Yeah, so I know what it's like to look at somebody and be like, oh man, how do you get that opportunity? Or like, you know, how are they doing that? Like, I'm low-key jealous. Like, that's cool, but I'm jealous. I don't want to be that. I want people to look at mine and be like, oh, I can do it too. Like, this is cool. Like, I support you, and this is inspiration.
Yeah, inspiration to work harder.
Yeah, so that's why I put that post up there. It's like, you know, there's a lot more behind this post than just like me on stage and my name actually up there. It's like, man, this is years of me rapping and like practicing and like stepping out of my bubble, stepping out of my comfort zone and just doing my thing, you know?
Yeah.
So,
yeah, of course.
A lot of people don't see all the hard work and the self-doubt.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, for sure. They don't see like
Self-criticism.
They don't see the gears moving behind the machine. They just see like
The machine.
that dude on the stage or like whatever. And it's like, man, you have no idea that like on the drive here, I was like, man, am I really supposed to be on this show? Like, or I didn't have it like that day. I was like, let's get it.
No, we know what you mean.
But just like, you know, you have like an off week and you're just like, man, like,
You doubt yourself.
yeah.
You have roller coasters, you know?
man.
Yeah,
We have
for sure.
plenty of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can
And,
tell.
I mean, and it's okay.
Man, we almost didn't make it to the podcast today, man.
Well, damn.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Yeah, it's like, that's the thing that's always changing, and I can't keep up with that. That's the thing that it's like, no matter how many episodes I do, I feel like the topics can be better, or how we go in about the topics could be better. Like, I feel like we have a good system right now, but I'm like competing with like, I watch The Breakfast Club fucking every day.
Yeah.
I'm like competing with the Savage, like these are like 10, 20-year professionals, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the way they tag team off of each other, you know what I mean? The way they set each other up to like slam dunk each question and layup is like impeccable.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy, you know what I mean? Like Envy,
The chemistry is ridiculous.
yeah, it's out of control, you know what I'm saying? Envy throws like, everybody thinks his questions are dumb, which sometimes they are, but he's doing that for a reason, you know what I mean? It's bringing that guest guard down. It's like, and sometimes he'll ask the same question twice, and you'd be like, why the hell is he doing that? And then it's perfect because then Charlamagne gets to be like, why don't you just fucking ask him? You know what I mean? We want to know what's up with Kim Kardashian. You know what I mean? And it's like, now it's like, I'm really just slaying my friend, but I've still got that question off. And then if it gets too awkward, Angela Yee's there to like kind of soften it back and be like, well, you know, there's some things that, you know, that we look at in the industry. You know what I mean? Like, they tag team it. Angela Yee throws Envy up. You know, they all throw each other up to make these crazy ass, like, slam dunks. And I feel like I want to practice with my crew and doing more of that, because this year we're going to do a lot more interviews, especially with, like, the new system that we have set up. And I think it's going to be, like, it's going to be insane. Like, I'm trying to make it one of those places where it is like the Breakfast Club, where like when somebody comes to Raleigh, they're like, "Yo, I'm trying to slide on the breakfast to like the 3 podcast real quick." You know what I mean? Yeah. That's how I'm looking at it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm looking at it where it's like you want to be there, and like my boy was telling me, he was like, "I see you like getting that, like you're getting that," and I feel like the interview, as long as like my interviewing, he was getting better, like. And the main thing I'm thinking about the interview, bro, like the interviews are becoming easier because like when I keep watching like good interviews, long story short, bro, is you don't interrupt the guest.
Yeah, you let them.
You literally answer a question, bro, and you just let them go, bro. You only bring up shit, and you only go to the next topic when they completely stop talking. Very cool. And that's it, bro. You just let them go, bro. Like
I've noticed that even watching and listening to the podcast and over time, like his growth doing that and everything, and it creates repeat guests and people who want to come back.
That want to come,
vibe, because it's like you give them their time to say what they want to say.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, and you respect what they want to say, and you still ask the questions you want to ask, but you do it on a way that they get their moments to kind of like, you don't try to trap anybody with questions.
Yeah, you take your time.
Take
your time.
Yeah.